All right, everybody. Welcome to the Pirate Skills Meetup. Today, all about native ads. Thank you so much for coming today. So today is all about traffic generation. Traffic is very important here as growth marketers because that's pretty much our lifeblood. But it depends on what we do with it. But today, we focus on what actually happens when we get lots of native ads traffic. That is usually something like recommended articles, suggested videos. Those are called native ads. Then the second step is I would like to focus very much on Outbrain. Who of you have used something like Outbrain, Taboola, or Plista in the past? Perfect, because this is going to be very beginner friendly in native ads because I don't know why, but so few people are talking about native ads. So for whom of you is something like recommended articles under the Handelsblatt or CNN something new? And the rest know it all? Yeah, a little bit of knowledge. So who's spending like some serious money on that channel? Just curious. So because we want to, like serious money is more than 50 bucks per day. Yeah? Anybody spending money on Outbrain, Taboola, or Plista? No. Okay, cool. Then this is going to be a really good start. Hi, man. So then I would like to show you what you can do to track your Outbrain traffic. So you can see that a lot of cheap traffic also gets converted into great value. Then we talk about creative ways on how to use native ads. And that leaves us open for your cases. So you can already think ahead. What are cases for you where you have questions about native ads? Maybe good, maybe bad experiences. The question, does it work for me? Yeah, then you just should suggest, yeah, but I have a mom and pop shop selling baby joggers, and does it work for me? The answer is yes, but it depends on your business. Yeah, but in that case, it would be awesome. The broader the audience, the better. And then we have a lot of time to still hang out and meet and ask questions and really to get to know each other because most of the brains are on this side of the room. Yeah, and please, everybody who would like to chip in, who has experience or an opinion, feel free to share it here. We are very glad. Just do me a favor, wait until I have the microphone because the people in the live stream, they can't hear us. And most people are actually joining the meetup through the live stream. Not at the same time, but especially afterwards. Okay, that would be awesome. So for some of you, you are here for the first time. So who's here for the first time? Oh, a lot. That's great. So welcome. I'm Ben. I'm a founder myself since 2008. I left the Air Force to study psychology as a civilian. And I thought, like, dang, I need to do business on the side. So I just started founding companies, websites, apps. And I just took a lot away from that experience. I did some 7-figure funding rounds, lots of without any funding, and had some painful lessons. And I just hope that we can share among each others as founders and marketers so we can become better as a community here in Cologne, of course, but also wherever we can reach people. We started this like almost 3.5 years ago, and so we're still going strong. We have not missed the meetup yet. I'm super stoked about that. So I don't know. I just don't like to get sick, I guess. So let's dive into it. So why do why do native ads matter here to you guys as founders and marketers? So just to get an idea, what are they? There are a shit ton of native ads. What's called native ads? In theory, a Facebook ad in the news feed would be a native ad because it looks like a normal post, like a normal piece of content. Or a suggested video on YouTube is a great example of a native ad. But today, I want to focus 99% on recommended articles, where you go to a magazine like the Washington Post, you see an article, you read it, you scroll down, and you discover suggested recommended articles. Usually like 3 of them are from the magazine and 3 of them are paid for. And it's even easier than booking Facebook and Google ads to get your position here. And we are talking about magazines like New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Handelsblatt, Bild.de. You would have never gotten gotten a deal from Bild.de, usually, because they tell you to fuck off if you want them to print something about them. But you can very easily book some ads on their platform for incredibly reasonable amounts of money. Yeah, I'm going to show you some real examples in a second. So these are the recommended articles, and this is where you need to think about when you create your ad. You need to fit in here, but you also need to stand out a little bit. It needs to feel native, but you also need to get the attention, and you only have two places to do it. Yeah, the image and the little tagline, title line. That's it. So in this case, what would you click on? Maybe the European top countries. Sounds interesting. Let's click on that. So here we are on the article from Farsight. And we can see, oh yeah, it starts with a typical banner image, and you can get a whole list of like 48 little articles within that huge article that goes from place 48 to number 1. You see some ads while you're scrolling down, and I just happened to find my own ad on that. This is a Google Ads display retargeting ads. Yeah, so I've been on my own website, I hope, and so I got to see this ad within this article, so it was a bit meta and I had to take a screenshot. Yeah, and in case you wondered, this article thinks that Denmark is number 1, but I think Germany made it into the top 10, I guess. So this is interesting, recommended article, but what does it cost us? Here's a real world example. I think it was Taboola, not Outbrain, but they are very similar. So I spent $182, that's not a lot, over a week. I paid incredible 15 cents for 1,000 impressions. What is normal? €5 on Facebook, €25 on LinkedIn. No problem at all. Yeah, on Facebook I usually calculate with €10, but here in native land I calculate with 1. And if one's good, it's like that. That means I got 1 million impressions for less than €200 because of the really shitty click-through rate. Yeah, and you could argue, yeah, but then it doesn't mean anything. I don't give a. As long as I'm under Handelsblatt as a recommended article, I take as many impressions as I can possibly get for as little money as possible. Yeah, so 0.1% actually click through. Here, if you check this. Then 1,179 clicks actually went to my websites. And that is a really cheap CPC of roughly 15 cents. That is something you can get on Facebook and Instagram story ads. You can get it if you have a high engaging ad. You can even go below if you find something that is pretty viral, like a quiz or something like that. But this is in the Google Ads world, I calculate with €1. In the LinkedIn Ads world, I calculate with €5 per click. Here we got 15 cents under really good magazines. But then what happens to that? So I looked at Google Analytics and asked from that campaign, how much time was spent on my website? And for €182, I got to waste 40.3 hours of people's time on my website, which is incredible for me. Yeah, I really like that return of investment of attention, because to me it's just attention trading. Yeah, I take the cheapest attention I can get that is high quality. I would even do print magazines. I have no problem with offline as long as I get it cheaper than on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on native. I'm totally don't care about which channel I'm using. I'm just day trading at this point when I think about those metrics. And then, of course, I want to know what happens after the click. Do people convert? Do they sign up for my email list? Do they buy my stuff? That's where it gets into the tracking part. Yeah. But this example, I think, is pretty representative of what I regularly can see. Not all the time, but like 80% of the time. If I don't have a completely shitty idea, yeah, for an article that I want to promote. But I hope that gets you excited. Those numbers just, I don't know, they make me very happy. Yeah. And we are actually talking just about recommended article, stuff like this, stuff like that looks like this. Here's the cover image from my LinkedIn article with the title. So I A/B tested what happens if I put in parentheses like PDF or video in front of it to see what got the better click-through rate. PDF 1, why Facebook Analytics gives you an unfair business advantage. That's a pretty interesting title. That was the title of the last or the 2 back meetup. You can still check it out at pirateskills.com and download all of that stuff if you like. But of course it makes sense for me to promote that article through native ads as well. It boosts my LinkedIn reach, it gets me all kinds of love from the engines. So, but let's think about your situation. How can you find out if native ads are actually something for you? So think about it. 3 little steps. First, you can research fitting online magazines. So if you had any choice, and that is actually a question that I would like you to answer. If you had any choice, which magazines would you have your article recommended from? Anybody wants to chip in? I'm always hot for Handelsblatt and Wall Street Journal. How about you? What would you guys like to see? Stanislav, what's your business?
Photo chain.
Photo chain. Oh yeah, right. Yeah. So photo chain is an extremely broadband topic. So this is really native ads friendly. The broader the topic, the better, essentially. Yeah. And if you have something that is super high value B2B, that's harder. But something like photography that everybody can care about, that is very interesting. So I would be interested in magazines like fashion magazines. Maybe there is Photo.de, maybe there are other photography websites.
Yeah, there are a lot of resources, but we are not live yet. So
yeah, okay, that's right.
We have to go live.
So anybody else, where would you like to be on, Pedram?
Can I actually pick where I can be on?
Not in the beginning, but you can deactivate what you don't like.
Okay. Because, for example, I have a client that is writing a book right now, and he would love to have an article on Psychology Today.
Ah, perfect. Yes, Psychology Today is a good choice. We can actually check which platform they are using. Anybody else who would like to chip in? Yeah, please.
I have a website that I sell leather products in Europe, and I would like to know what kind of websites do you suggest? Still news websites or some fashion websites, as you suggested.
What's the price point of the leather products?
It's a little bit high.
Tell me, what's the average basket size?
100, 200, 500, something like that.
Okay, so my opinion on that would be don't make choices in the beginning. Watch what happens with the traffic. Is it affiliate or is it your products?
It's my product.
Okay, that's perfect, because I've noticed that lots of people who used to do affiliate marketing through Facebook ads completely shifted their money to native because it's so much cheaper. Yeah. So I would actually go for a broad strategy there, but you might have a magazine in mind, and we can check out the Psychology Today example, yeah, if you like. So if you have found like a magazine or magazines that you like, how do you find out if that actually works? You scroll down an article and just look in the recommended section. Oh yeah, what is the platform from which this is served? Yeah, I actually wanted to show you this live, but I feel handicapped with that setup. So let's not do that. So what you usually see, as we saw it in this example here, when you are in the recommended section here, it says up here, recommended by Outbrain. Yeah, so pretty much every magazine now makes their money through native ads. Almost every magazine, yeah. And there you can see powered by Plista, powered by Taboola, powered by Outbrain. Those are the 3 clones of each other that just have one different publishers. Yeah, but essentially they feel very much the same. This is why I felt comfortable to show you just Outbrain, but Taboola and Plista and all the other ones are just as fine. Yeah. So this is how you get to pick your magazines, yeah, where you can be. If I would start on something, I would use Outbrain. To be honest, it has a nice reach of German and English magazines. If you want to be on Bild.de, I think it's mostly Taboola, but it's fun. Yeah, you can use any, try any. It's very easy to set up, and this is what I would like to show you now. So what I want you to take away from this first segment is there is still cheap traffic out there. I know the feeling at the moment is Facebook has become super expensive. Google Ads is almost, unpayable. LinkedIn is fucking ridiculous. But there are still slots like Instagram story ads or native ads where you can find a shit ton of cheap traffic. Yeah, but with cheap traffic, you always have to be careful because it might be shit traffic. Yeah, and this is why we get to the second part of this. We need to track the performance, of our ads, but first we have to set it up. So how do you set up Outbrain? I just assume you have never set up Outbrain. So just let me ask again, who of you has an Outbrain account? So perfect, really. Yeah, live stream, you can post this in the comment. If you have awesome experience with Outbrain, let us know. So you go to outbrain.com, create your amazing account, just minimal fields. Then you go to the dashboard, and there's already pretty much the end. You see your campaigns. You can, in the top right corner, you can add a campaign after you put in some payment information, or you already have to start the campaign. There's nothing else to do here. Yeah, so you press the button in the top right corner where it says add campaign, and then you have to choose which campaign type. In most cases, if I were you, I would start with traffic campaign. This optimizes for visitors that are more likely to click through to your website, while awareness gets you simply the cheapest cost per 1,000 views. And then once you have set up your conversion tracking, go for the conversion setup. And I'm actually going to show you that it is quite easy to set that up as well. But the whole functionality of Outbrain is so limited compared to Facebook and Google that you can just learn it in an hour or two. To get good at it, it takes time, of course, especially to create converting pictures and titles in the articles and not to get rejected all the time because you didn't follow the guidelines. But this is what I would start with, the traffic campaign. So let's assume we have the traffic campaign and we have nothing else set up. You already see that the potential reach is at 556 million people. Yeah, that is ridiculously a lot. You can just narrow it down up to 1 to 2 million and you'll be fine. But Outbrain can also work with larger audience, just like Facebook, if you do conversion tracking. So you just say like, what do I want to bid? I choose clicks and 10 cents. If you talk to Outbrain rep, they will tell you start with 70 cents and then go down lower. Yeah. If your ads don't start properly, that is good advice. But I usually try to lowball them and just see what happens at 10 cents. And then if nothing works, I just create another campaign that starts at 30 cents. Yeah. But starting around 10 to 30 cents has simply worked for me. And then I always try to go lower. Yeah, once I kicked out the placements I didn't like. Okay. So what else can you say? You can decide on which locations you want this to show. This is just Germany. Imagine he would add the US, and all of that. And it's still in Germany with those targeting options like marketing, media, small business, cloud computing, Internet of Things that I think fits my crowd. Yeah, we're still at 8.4 million people. So this is a target size that I like. There are not many choices, not like the hundreds and hundreds of interest group at Facebook. Maybe there are 50 or so. They are expanding and the platform is changing from time to time. But it's fairly basic what you can choose, and they're pretty transparent on how big that audience is. So that's it. Then we put in some tracking magic here into the suffix, into the URL, but I'm going to talk about that in the tracking section. Can't do more. Yeah, now I just have to add my article, and that's it. So how do I add an article? Press next, land here, put in the URL of your article. In this case, I chose a LinkedIn article. Then they suggest already the site name, the title, and you can add several titles and it will A/B test it for you. Then you can choose an image which needs to be like 4:3 from the aspect ratio to be ideal. Some platforms prefer squared, some more the 4:3 ratio. That's it. And that uploads like 4 pieces of content here, and you press start and you're done. Yeah, and you just add more campaigns, more articles. I usually have like 20 articles in my campaigns, and just see which articles are performing really well, which are not. Yeah, I base my judgment on how much reach do I get, what is the click-through rate, how much do I pay per click, and how many conversions do I get in that article. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that sounds easy, right? Questions about that? Here, do you want to have the mic? Here you go, Dominic.
Do you add several articles in one campaign, or do you make one campaign for every article? Or
I do a lot of articles in one campaign.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe like clustered for that interest group. Yeah, but I usually go pretty broad because I use native ads primarily as the means to get a lot of traffic.
And do you add articles from your page and LinkedIn articles in one campaign? Or?
Usually just from my website. This is just a complete fresh demo account that I created so I could share the numbers. Yeah, and I use my blog article, of course, because I have full pixel control on that website. That means I can retarget that audience with anything I like, as long as they, of course, said, oh yeah, I want to be tracked for the rest of my life. Thank you, GDPR. Okay, so you have to realize that this native ad stuff is way simpler than Google and Facebook ads. So there's actually no reason to not just try it once. And if you could do me a favor, if you try it, yeah, share the results with us in the Facebook group. Even if you just get a shit ton of cheap traffic and no real results, I would love to hear what your experiences were and what you learned from this. But if you don't apply this at home, then this meetup was worthless. Yeah, essentially. Right? It's all about actually transferring that skill and trying it. Yeah, what some people don't like, there is a minimum daily budget of 20 euro on Outbrain. Yeah, so if you just want to spend $100 for this test, which is a good recommended size, just do it for 5 days. That's it. Yeah, and then report your findings in the Facebook group. And if you have any problems and issues, at the end, I usually share my contact data, and it's pretty easy to reach me on Facebook or LinkedIn. Okay, so who's gonna try this? I'm curious. Dang, I hope. I'll check the Facebook group. So, cheers to that. Okay, so this was the easy part. I always try to have something beginner friendly, and then where people that are even more advanced here in the audience get a bit excited, just as I do. Yeah, when I can talk about analytics and tracking stuff. And this is also segmented in the easy way and the more involved way. Nothing too fancy. So how do I track my native ads? So I already said that when you set up the campaign, you can do some magic URL stuff in here. Those are the called UTM parameters that you can use to tell Google Analytics where people are coming from. And there was a recommended way to do it, and you can just copy paste my code. It's just this here. Yeah, this is the code. UTM source Outbrain, UTM medium discovery. That tells Google Analytics automatically that this is a prospecting campaign, knows how to group it in the right channels. Then you give it your custom campaign name, like Facebook Analytics Meetup. Yeah, maybe with the date, so you can definitely see in Google Analytics what happened with the people who came to your website. Did they convert? Did they sign up for your newsletter? Did they buy your stuff? Yeah, and then what I really love, they automatically offer you to add the ad title and the most important thing, the publisher name and section where this article was recommended. Because the single most important factor, whether the traffic converts or not, is where it came from. There are a lot of shit placements on native ads. Maybe if you guys had experience with Google display ads recently. Yeah, stopped us from being able to deactivate Google app placements. Yeah, we got all of this shit Google app trash traffic from the interstitial ads on mobile phones that you just could not click. Yeah, and it spoiled our numbers. And this is the same here with native ads. There's just a shit ton of trash traffic out there. You just have to be able to recognize which publisher is good, which is bad. And usually you have like your highlight publishers like Handelsblatt and Wall Street Journal in mind. But keep an open mind, especially for whatever reason, the Microsoft network sites. I don't know who's surfing on those Microsoft network sites anymore, but they tend to not be complete trash. Yeah, and I just go for the numbers. So keep an open mind, start with all placements. You have no choice any other ways, but give it some time so you can actually explore all the placements that are possible. Yeah, and this stuff puts it into your Google Analytics, and then you can see which conversion goals, which audiences, genders, age groups came from which publications from native ads. And you're not confused that it's coming from direct none, which means like it's not trackable, it's not brand search or just domain type-ins. Yeah, I would really recommend just copy pasting this question mark thing to the end in the suffix section in the campaign settings, and change the campaign name to whatever you like. Yeah, is my magic thing. Your campaign name. Do something with small caps, no German umlaute or SZ, please. Yeah, it works right now, but I'm still not 100% sure what to trust it. If you want to go even deeper, yeah, you can check out this article from Outbrain where they say which kind of curly brackets variables they have to offer for you. Like, you don't have to have the section name. The section name just says, was it like the front page? Was it a lower section? Was it a thing on the side? If that's interesting to you, because I like it because I can deactivate certain sections from publishers. So that is the first part, which enables you to see which publishers were actually good and which are bad in Google Analytics. But this is the one-way communication. This only tells Google Analytics something. It does not. Google Analytics does not talk back to Outbrain like the Facebook Pixel does. The Facebook Pixel and the Google Pixel, if you configured your conversion goals right, talks back to the platform and tells it, out of the 1 million people that we targeted, those 50,000 were awesome. Get me more of those. They interacted, they engaged, they stayed longer on the page. Yeah, it's a two-way communication. It's not only to help you to see which campaigns were profitable and which not. I think the even more important part is that the platform has a chance to optimize itself. Yeah, and this is what we do with the conversion pixel. Yeah, conversion tracking in Outbrain and Google Tag Manager works in 4 simple steps. Yeah, if you want this two-way communication and actually see in your reports how many people signed up for the newsletter, which is a typical thing to do on article promotions. It's less the direct sales stuff. You need to update your privacy policy. Yeah, so this is a new pixel on your website, so you should add a little bit. I show you my snippet and you can modify it to your needs. And you need to get the Outbrain pixel. You need to publish the new tag with Google Tag Manager. That is usually the easiest way to do it. And then you need to set up the conversions in Outbrain. I'll take you through those steps now, okay? So I use EOBenda for my privacy policy, and this little snippet up there is the Outbrain warning, yeah, with the opt-out link and the data types, which data types are collected. Pretty simple stuff, but I would just recommend to add it whenever you add a new tracking pixel to your website. just keep that habit up of putting it into your thing. If you use EOBenda, it's like a 1 minute add Outbrain to my privacy policy. Anybody else here is using EOBenda? I'm just curious. Yeah, you over there, Marcel. Yeah, how do you guys generate your privacy policy? I'm really interested. Which privacy policy? Oh, maybe you should deactivate the microphone. Yeah, that was a totally wrong question. Anybody who's doing it in a good way and has a tip or a suggestion or another tool like EOBenda, that would be awesome. Raise your hands now. No, everybody raised their hands. Live stream, everybody raised their hands. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. There's somebody who's doing good stuff in the data privacy policy matrix. Are you working together? Yeah, okay, you get it.
I use eRecht24.
eRecht24, yeah, that is a popular choice, also for AGBs, e-commerce stuff, also recommendable. Would you recommend it, Carsten? You're the lawyer type.
I think you have to have a special solution for every website, so I'm not sure if I can recommend it.
That's true.
Because you get a standard solution, and most of the times it doesn't really fit for what you need.
Yeah.
But I'm a lawyer, so I have, it's my job to.
You need to make the
better job.
Dough. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So having a custom solution is, of course, always preferable to a standardized solution. But I'm using so many pixels, and I don't know how to explain it to the lawyers even. Yeah. So maybe we get the question here from the back.
Don't you have to let people opt in for the pixels, not only inform them in your policy,
yes,
but ask them to opt in actively?
You do.
You have to do this.
Let's do it. Yeah, we had a wonderful new judgment, yeah, on October 1st, which actually forces us to seriously take the opt-in route. Yeah, so I come back to when we do the next conversion tracking one, I do my how to conversion optimize your cookie opt-in rate. Yeah, that's something I'm actively thinking about at the moment. So take that in a modified version so you don't steal the stuff from EOBenda, but it's not much you have to do. So then from the menu bar on the left-hand side, this beautiful code segment symbol from Outbrain is what leads you to this Outbrain pixel overview. Just copy paste a long ass piece of code. This is just that part of that part, yeah, that you can see here. I guess they didn't want to scare people. Reasonable thing to do. And you just copy that and drag it into your Google Tag Manager. You can, of course, add it manually into your header if you know what you're doing in your source code. You can use any other pixel manager that you like. But Google Tag Manager does a lot of stuff for us, including making the opt-in thing with the cookie banner a lot easier for us. So there's an awesome change in Google Tag Manager that I did not expect at all. They now have tracking templates for tags. So who has no idea what the Tag Manager is, or like just bare knowledge? Okay, so the Tag Manager is just like a wrap around all of your pixel. You put in the Google pixel, the Facebook pixel, and you tell it when to fire. Yeah, it gives you a convenient one-stop shop to change your pixel and events without having to always work with the developer. Yeah, it gives you a lot of freedom. I would highly recommend it. Developers usually prefer to do other things. Yeah, and I like to get them involved only when I need something very specific, a custom event fired that I cannot automatically grab from Google Tag Manager. So, but there was always, like, they didn't even have a template for Facebook Pixel because Google and Facebook are no friends. There was no possibility to just say like, oh yeah, here's my Facebook ID, put it in there, it's all good, do the rest. You always had to put in the whole code shebang. And now they introduced tag templates, and you can create your own tag templates and share it. And of course, what do all the providers like Facebook and Outbrain do? They set up the perfect tag for you that you only have to put in your magic pixel ID from Outbrain. It's pretty long. in this case, and it's from my demo account. And you get it from this gallery thing on the right-hand side. So if you have missed a pixel in the past in your Google Tag Manager setup, I really invite you to look in this gallery and see what kind of great already prepared templates there are for you. They're usually much more capable than the just copy-paste the code in here. Yeah, they track more events in a more detailed fashion. So that was really interesting to find out. You of course want to fire it on all of your pages. The Google conversion tag is usually fired only on the thank you page, for example, after an e-commerce purchase. While the Facebook pixel is simply fired on every page, and you just specify specific events on a thank you page. Yeah, then you tell it, oh, yeah, this is a purchase. And the Outbrain pixel is very similar to the Facebook pixel, that it is supposed to fire everywhere, so you can see the whole behavior on the side, and then you specify the conversions within Outbrain. Yeah, but here you plug it in to the Google Tag Manager. If you would like simple to advanced instruction on what to do with Tag Manager, there's a YouTube channel called Measure School. It's the place where I've learned like 80% what I know about Tag Manager. The rest was trial and error. But this guy called Julian from Frankfurt is really like a guy that I'm looking up to emulating when I start my own YouTube channel, which is supposed to start in a week or two. Ooh, I'm really looking forward for your feedback there. I can use any subscriber. I have like 24. Look on your YouTube account, Pirate Skills, subscribe now, and you will be at the beginning of this channel. Can tell everybody in a year when it has a gazillion followers. So now the pixel is live. We have set up our privacy policy. We have found the pixel. We have set it up in Google Tag Manager. Bam, it's live on our website. Now it's just tracking visitors. Yeah, that is the basic conversion event. But what we are interested in is, do they reach a place that we give a fuck about? Yeah, like, did they sign up? Did they buy? Did they reach a download thank you page? And again, in the same place where you saw the pixel, you can create a conversion. And it tells you, yeah, you can verify it with this awesome Chrome plugin, and just give me a URL, and I call this a conversion. When you go to pirateskills.com and sign up for the free online course where you have the recordings of the videos and slides, small page, you can do that. Yeah. You get to this Pirate Skills Live purchase URL. Everybody has to get past this URL once they bought it. And I can just plug it in here. And then now Outbrain, since it fires on all the pages, knows, oh yeah, this was success. And it can not only tell me that it was a success, but how much it cost. And it can be split down by the publisher and the section and the audience and the campaign, and which title image combination created the most conversion with the best bang for your buck. And it creates this two-way street. I can not only do a traffic optimized campaign, I can now do a conversion optimized campaign. Yeah, and this tells Outbrain, based on those 5.5 million people, let me send some broad traffic, see what happens, and after it learns a little bit which type of customers or visitors are converting well, it can start to look for similar audiences. Yeah, at the same time, Outbrain offers you the option that you can create an audience based on those conversions. Yeah, so this is just simply scrolling down a little bit. You can name the conversion like free course sign up. That makes sense for me, right? Then which category is it? It's not a purchase. You didn't pay anything. You become a lead. Yeah, you enter the Pirate Skills matrix. Yeah, I only want to count people who did it within 7 days of clicking. I would suggest that it's a value of €1 when somebody signs up. You could argue with that. I usually like to use round numbers. And I want to include that conversion, and I want to create an audience of everybody who has signed up for the free course. Why would I care about that? For example, I can exclude those people from those ads. It is really annoying if you signed up for something and you still get stalked with the ad that you're supposed to sign up for something else. Yeah, and it gives you the options to then, let's say you signed up for the free course. Doesn't it make sense that I now pitch you an article that tells you how great the workshops are? Yeah, it makes sense after the free conversion to show you the upgrade path. Yeah, and think about that in your own product frame. Maybe there are some questions about this here that I can take now. Yeah, is it something you have to go through once and then you do it a couple of times and it gets pretty easy? But anything that is unclear about this? Yeah, please. You don't have to start with this, but it's something you can do if you like to experiment.
Yeah. So just one question: Could I do all this stuff without Google Analytics, like
yes.
just Outbrain?
Just
would
Outbrain.
It work the same?
Yes, it would work the same. You would just need to put in the Outbrain pixel somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah?
what do I gain if I take Google Analytics or?
Oh yeah, what you gain. So I treat Google Analytics like like a very neutral place. It can analyze the Facebook traffic, the Google traffic, the SEO traffic very well, the social traffic, and I want to see how Outbrain competes with all of my other traffic sources. Yeah, and the conversion path that people are taking. Because later I'll show you how you can use the Outbrain traffic as the starting point of your customer journey. It's usually not the let's buy something journey. Okay, so that's what you gain from the Google Analytics. Is there any reason why you wouldn't want to use Google Analytics? I'm curious about that.
Trying to avoid cookies.
Trying to avoid cookies.
Well,
yeah.
Due to GDPR laws,
yeah.
reducing amount of tracking.
That is very commendable of you. Yeah, but to me, Google Analytics is pretty much like the one default pixel I definitely have in every single project I have. It is, even when I work with AXA, E.ON, or DHL, it's the one pixel that always gets through the whole legal shit. Yeah, so as a small guy, I'm least worried about Google Analytics in a base setup, not crazy setups, yeah? You can really go wild with it, like Excel spreadsheets, yeah? You can just type in some numbers or you can code in it. Same with Google Analytics. And the second one I'm more worried about is the Facebook pixel. Yeah, and since the question from the back, we also have to ask people to opt in to use Google Analytics now. At least that is the expected interpretation of the current rulings. Yeah, this will change over time, but this is my strategy at the moment. Just let them opt in and then use as many pixels as you like. They can still choose. Yeah. So put the choice into the user's hand. Most people would just say, accept all cookies. Yeah, because we all are super annoyed by all of those cookie pop-ups. It has become an automatic thing. They essentially did the same thing like with the smoking sign. Yeah, Rauchen kann tödlich sein. It just completely destroyed the awareness that it is deadly. Yeah, it is a really old school psychological trick to do it. They use it in many US court cases to win really brutal cases where they just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, an awful message, and your brain just desaturates that message completely and you get rid of it. Same with the cookie banners. Yeah, we shall see. I actually like the opt-in thing. It is more reasonable, but I want to make it as easy for my customers as possible to stay opted in. Yeah, if they like to. And if not, I'm very happy to let them go. Yeah, sure. So, thank you for waiting, Ella.
Concerning the step before, can I set up various conversions in my Outbrain campaign?
Yeah, you can set up as many as you like. Yeah, this is also very important because usually your customer journey does not happen in one single step. Yeah, they land on your website, they look at a product, they add it to the cart, they initiate the checkout. Maybe they sign up for your newsletter, read 3 newsletters, and then buy this stuff. Yeah, as long as they do it within 7 days, you will see it attributed to that campaign within Outbrain. The default conversion window is 60 days even. I usually tone it down when it's just for email signups. Okay, so that's the magic. Yeah. What do I want you to take away from this year? So cheap traffic is often bad traffic, and tracking simply protects you from doing things wrong and to see what's really working. With all performance channels, it's a search for a treasure, and it's not obvious. You have to mine and dig and search and keep searching and retesting until you find the right combinations of articles, publishers, and titles and images that gives you a positive return of investment. But native ads is a huge chance to get the initial huge burst of traffic to your website, so you can even test stuff on your page, like doing A/B tests on your website with a significant amount of traffic. Really, Aniko? Is that your name?
Yeah.
Cool name.
So my question would be, if it's bad traffic, can it possibly harm your brand?
How would it harm your brand? Just curious.
As far as I understand, it's getting in front of a lot of people before you switch off the bad traffic channels, or the bad publications, the publications that you don't like, you don't want to see your ad on.
No, I don't think it hurts your brand, because they're simply people who were on your website who didn't convert. So there is an interesting argument in that now. So a journalist would always say, why don't you write great articles and get published in the Wall Street Journal the proper way? Why do you have to buy your way into this? That is the question I really like. Yeah, but in my creative section, I have an example for you. But for me, it's the other way around. I wish journalists would have done that article, but a commercial intent was needed in order to create it. So I think that's the more interesting part. Doing paid traffic on any platform can make you look needy for traffic, right? But I don't think that's a good argument. I love paid traffic. As long as I make a return of investment, I will spend as much as I possibly can to outrun my competitors. Yeah, and I don't see the harm, especially in native ads. I would see a bigger harm on stuff like Facebook ads, where you're really visible and attachable. For example, if you see my face too often on Facebook with a video on Instagram, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen me more on Instagram than in the month before, because we are really ramping up the video content production as a preparation to the start of the YouTube channel. And this might start to become annoying. Yeah, I have some marketers on my blacklist. Yeah, because they just don't leave me in peace. I'm stalked by them wherever I go. Yeah, and that can be damaging. Yeah, or brands like Samsung that are willing to spend the money to show me a YouTube ad like 10 times the same day. And they don't know how to use frequency capping, just 4 times a week. Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah, even a day, but not the 10 times non-skippable YouTube ads. Yeah, so that's where the danger may be if you overdo it. All right, so let's look into some practical applications that are maybe not that obvious and direct by my shit. Yeah, some suggestions. And maybe you can pitch in here if you have some ideas and thoughts on how to use those native ads creatively. Because that's a bit what growth marketing is also about. It's about searching for the path that is really smart and not the super obvious one. So let's look at a beautiful example. So who knows the Netflix series Orange is the New Black? Just show me. So this was a native ad with an article done by Netflix to promote the 2nd season of that in the New York Times. And they did such a beautiful job in that. They had this great animations. This is all nicely animated. If you click on it, if you download the slides and click on it, it leads you to the original article. Yeah, and it's a beauty to see. and I would really love to see the performance numbers on it, because I don't know, I've hardly ever seen such a well written and animated article. Because if you pay a lot of money to do it, you can afford a much more thorough investigation and research, which is maybe even an advantage of paid ads, but I don't want to start that political discussion with the internet. So if you scroll down, you see videos with those women that are being interviewed, and it portrays the a more approachable pictures of what women in prisons are really like. We might have a picture of that in our mind, and they portray rich and poor, Latino, black, white women from that perspective, and what actually landed them in prison and how they are treated there, and what happens with their life afterwards. And that is, I think, the intrigue of Orange is the New Black. Like, how is life there? And they did a really great job in this article. And at the end, if you scroll down, it never mentions Netflix except like for the banner in the beginning. You see, oh yeah, season 2 now streaming. And that's it. So they really put in the work. The production value is insane for such an article to promote your audience. I think this was a really creative way. So lots of people say like, yeah, why don't you write good articles? Then you get editorially published. Why not write a good article and get paid traffic from it? Yeah, this is not an invitation to start doing journalistic shit. Yeah, really write good articles. That might be brand threatening if you publish shitty stuff, but that is true anywhere. It's even worse because it's such a huge amplification of bad quality. But go in there, shine. Yeah, I usually, when I pay for an article to be written, I used to have very, very different pricing expectations, and I'm very curious. Has anybody of you paid for articles to a content creator or journalist to write it? Yeah, could you maybe give me an idea of what you paid for what?
Oh, so we paid for articles in. It was 1 year ago, and I don't remember about exactly platforms, but you can go to photochain.io and test it out.
Yeah, I will, of course. But what did you pay for it?
I paid for it a lot of money.
How much? How long was the article?
Maybe 2,500 words.
So a very long article. Was it well researched and well written?
Yes, it was well written.
Give us an idea. How much is a lot?
2,000 euros.
2,000 euros. So this is a lot. Yeah. So anybody else who paid for article? Who paid less than 2K for the last article they had written? I did. Anybody else? Yeah, maybe you write all of your own articles. Very commendable. Yeah. So there used to be SEO content platforms like Content.de, Text Broker, and when my bro and I, when we paid $25 per article, this needed to be a really awesome article. We were like $15 maximum. 4 stars out of 5 is enough. 500 words, all keyword optimized. Let's get 100 articles and get it done. Yeah, that was the mind frame I was coming from. And then I was like, geez, good journalistic stuff. Really, that costs like 100, 150 euro. Yeah. So this is where like I think like, yeah, that's kind of reasonable. 150 euro, but it's a lot. But yeah, I get. And then like 2 days ago, I heard about an article that is regularly written. It took the person 3 days at a daily rate of over 1,000 euro for this article, and I read it and I was like, all right, that was 4-star plus, but not more. Yeah, but somebody earned 3K for that article. I was impressed by her. Yeah, not by the article. What would I do? I would invest $150 in an article that I invest. I would write it myself, or write it and then have it professionally edited and some great pictures taken. If you spend some serious money on those articles, why not put the polish in it as well? But in my cases, for example, I have a very simple technique that Christina always does with my LinkedIn article. When we have a meetup like this, we have written a good, hopefully good event description that is a bit article-ish. Then we put that in there, put the slides as a SlideShare embed, put the video in there, and the text. And this is a whole nice article based on text, graphics, and videos. So, and since I'm doing this anyway every month, yeah, I'm pretty much forced into that rhythm. Why not push this article even a little bit? Yeah, it doesn't need to be super crazy involved, but if you push an article like that, realize it's gonna get a lot of exposure. And I tried with this with a product called EchoCut. Yeah, I've talked about this in the past. Maybe you saw the example where we spent like 5,000 euro on Facebook video ads, and we made 15K, had to pay 5K for product shipping handling, and could keep another 5K as profits. And we could do that on a weekly basis. The only thing that could outperform it was Outbrain. That completely outperformed the Facebook ads again, and we could spend even more there. And what we emulated was a BuzzFeed style article. So BuzzFeed is known for, for viral articles, for listicles, for stuff like that. You can think about them what you want, and about people who read Bild.de. This is where the shit ton of traffic and attention is. And you need, I wanted to take that idea and see if that type of article works in a direct product sales scenario. And it did wonderfully. Yeah, so keep an open mind also in the format. It doesn't need to be always like uber creative and professional, but it needs to be something. Yeah, there needs to be a little hook in the creative and in the title at least. Yeah, and then you get the traffic, and if you write a good article, people will stay longer on it. If not, you just got the retargeting tax. Yeah, and that leads me to 3 other things on how I creatively like to use native ads. So I use it mainly to start really cheap retargeting audiences for expensive placements. I'm talking LinkedIn, Facebook, Google. Facebook is not that expensive yet, but you can just tell the Google Tag Manager, fire this conversion event when people scroll down 50% of the article, when they stayed at least 2 minutes on the article. So I can differentiate between the people who are not engaged and bounced and the people who have actually shown interest. And now I can spend money with the expensive placements and really show them the offer I actually wanted them to see. Yeah, or get them one level deeper into the matrix. Pedram, you have a question?
Yeah. So all the time you're judging the performance of the ads by the cost per click, right?
No, cost per conversion.
Yeah, because that's why my question, like about the EcoCut example, right? Like, you send them to an article, and could they like purchase, like, or could they like visit the website? How was it built up, like?
Yeah. So they use the Shopify store, yeah, and with Shopify you have the option to put your checkout button on any page. And you can just put a link to your shop from the article, or you can put a native ad of your own product within your article that feels very natural. Yeah, it was an article like how this invasion took Germany by storm. Yeah, it was a really BuzzFeed worthy thing. Yeah, so I guess you know it. Bro. Yeah, so that gets people to the page, and then I let them sort up themselves. Yeah, by engagement. How long do you stay there? Do you convert? Do you scroll down deeply? Yeah. All of that laughter is on the microphone, bro. I really want to hear that. So, so this is where I then can go for high engagement people and put them into a LinkedIn. Yeah, because of course I have the LinkedIn pixel on that article as well. Yeah, through Google Tag Manager or Segment or whatever you love to use. And as long as people opted in, yeah, you're free to now target the people who stayed more than 2 minutes and scrolled down 50%. on LinkedIn, where I'm expecting to pay $5 per click. But I'm not willing to spend $5 per click on random dudes. Yeah, I'm very willing to spend that money on people who have been engaged with my audience. Yeah, not the other way around. So, second thing, content upgrades on the articles for lead generation, downloadable PDFs that fit the topic. So, let's take an example out of your area. Anybody who thinks that native ads might be a reasonable source of traffic for them? Just raise your hands. So what would you think, what kind of article would make sense for you to promote? What do you do? What's your URL?
I'm a person that, personally have my own company by myself, and I'm a business model designer. I'm doing for small, medium companies, doing business model, especially for startups and when they go into live, how to bring the product live. For me, it's more like to to make interest and then bringing value to the audience who are reading the article. That's mostly that.
So you would write an article about like 3 steps on how to get started with a high performance business model. Yeah.
For example,
let's say, and then you get people there. What could you give them as a content upgrade to download when you get the contact data from them?
Could be a checklist or
perfect.
Something.
Yeah, a downloadable checklist. 13 things you have to keep in mind when creating a business model in a little pop-up on the side or nastily in the middle. You just have to give me your name and your email address, and we send it to you right away after you double opted in and checked all the right boxes. Yeah, that would be a beautiful way to do it. Yeah, you could also promote your events. You could, in case you have any, or where you go speaking, or if you have anything free on your website to download, you could push that. But that is a good point. You got them in for very cheap, and now you need to have a way to separate them. If you just send them to the article and they read, that's not too much value. I don't know how you guys are at the moment, but I have actually a hard time taking the time to read a long article, especially a 2,000 word article at the moment. I'm in such a YouTube and Audible world in my brain here at the moment that it's hard for me, it has become, sadly, hard for me to consume written text in long form. If it's in fiction, I love it. Yeah, like sci-fi and fantasy, I'm all over it. I love the slow reading process, but if I want to get B2B how-to information, I need the speed of the intake. Yeah? So that is a good option to creatively prop up your native ad and make it even more worthwhile. And I would highly suggest a free content upgrade. Don't go for paid straight away with native ads, because it's this article experience. You come from this article, you want to read the next article. They don't even allow you in Outbrain to put like your homepage on it because they expect an article on the other side. They're pretty lenient with it. I sometimes get like a product detail page on it, but usually they kill them. Yeah. But if they reject you, just put it in there again. You haven't heard it. So then, yeah, I already said like this viral article a la BuzzFeed with direct product links. If you have a cheap broadband product, I'm talking 30 euro or less, B2C broadband consumer product. Yeah, or I would try it with the leather goods. I would try that, and maybe just shoot for the more higher end magazines. But in that area, you can shoot for direct sales. Yeah, go for a viral article with a really clickbaity tagline and an image, and see what happens. Yeah, that was what made a big splash with Outbrain, with EchoCut, which was already highly profitable with Facebook video ads, which are also a type of native ads because they, as I said, feel very much like a normal Facebook post. Okay? Do you guys have any ideas for creative use and abuse of native ads? What would you guys use it for? I liked actually the idea of boosting your LinkedIn with it. yeah, getting more visibility there. I haven't completed that test yet to really say like if this is a good idea or bad. I'll tell you in a month or two in the Facebook group.
I'm thinking about we are around Christmas time, and it's hard for people to make people aware of Christmas products. So I think if it's about events and Christmas events, there could be a listicle style of 5 fails on Christmas parties and how to avoid it, and then place the product in that thing. Like, oh, this is actually making these things better.
Or 13 presents for your mom and dad. Yeah, that would be awesome if somebody of you would write that article for me and send it to me. So do you have your Christmas presents? So let's meta this idea. Seasonal. So two ways to meta this. Yeah, seasonal suggestions. Yeah, like Halloween season, Valentine's Tag, Christmas. Birthdays is hard because you don't know in that scenario when it's the birthday. You know that with Facebook, but not with Outbrain. But the other way I thought while you were talking was, what if I would go to Amazon into the most wished for section, yeah, and get some inspiration of what people are currently interested in a certain categories that fit to my whole product, that are related to my products, yeah, on Amazon. I just see like, oh yeah, this is a really good idea, and maybe I put my product on that top 10 list of recommended presents. And I know that I have awesome suggestions because Amazon validated it for me. Yeah, so if you don't know how to look for this, just search for Amazon most wished for. Works in German as well. Just most wished for, literally, because that's the URL. It's hard to find. Yeah, please, Massimo.
So what would you say is the main target group, age-wise, of Outbrain?
Oh, a complete broad spectrum. A bit older, I would guess, plus 20 plus, yeah, is the primary group. Below that, there are awesomer things like Instagram ads at the moment. Yeah, but you just have to choose the magazines right. Yeah, but younger people and magazines, online magazines, that's not that cool, usually. Yeah. Why are you interested? What are you selling?
We're not selling anything. We're basically have a platform which gives people the chance to find their next step. So job-wise, school-wise, and that's why.
Okay, so what are you selling there? A course or
subscription? A
subscription. What's the product called?
Click to Success.
Click to
Success. Subscribe to the platform and you get options, job-wise.
Okay.
Weiterbildungsmäßig.
Yeah. So this is a really broadband subject. The whole job market is a very broadband subject, and everything broadband is really well suited for native ads. Yeah, the broader, the better. Everybody has windshield swipers, yeah, on your car, and you need the EchoCut thing to work for it. Maybe I didn't explain the product in the first place. It did not work so well for me with niche products. Of course, I tried it with the Klarheit coaching journal. It's a very niche audience that loves this meditation, yoga, productivity. That I would say is not the main target group of native ads, but you can try specific publishers to realize what they are. Another cheeky way is to go to Facebook Business Manager and check in the audience insights section. So you can go into Facebook Business Manager and see what other people's, your own page, but what other people's products have associations with other pages and magazines. So let's say you are in the EV, electric vehicle thing. You can check what people who like Tesla and visit their website are also interested in. You get a nice list of magazines, yeah, and politicians and da-da-da. And based on that, you could choose your publications a bit better or get a nice collection of those demographics to target them on Outbrain again, yeah, or Taboola or whatever you like. Any other shenanigans and ideas from the audience? Sure. So what's your idea? Yeah.
Just wanted to ask, does that work only in web? Is it possible to include that, for example, in audio, in podcasts?
I think it works wonderfully, as long as you have proper podcast descriptions, because they require a substantial amount of text. I think that is a brilliant idea. I will try it. Personally, that's an awesome idea. Yeah, I don't think it will be worthwhile for like YouTube. It's too cheap. The traffic on YouTube itself is too cheap. But podcast, boosting it in the rankings in a category, I definitely have to try that. All right. So we got some creative ideas. And if you come up with something else, yeah, talk to me about it during the RUM and post it in the Facebook group, for example. Yeah, so use this opportunity with native ads now to tell your story in an article and boost it, and then take the retargeting seriously. Yeah, don't look too harshly at the conversion numbers in native. See what happens afterwards when you have a proper retargeting or email nurturing funnel after that, and take that whole thing into account when you judge the native ads thing. Okay? You look like you have a question. No? Yeah? I guess not. Sorry. Christoph?
Hi. If my business is more or less local, for example, companies in North Rhine-Westphalia, which possibilities do I have to do native ads?
You can limit that.
I can limit that?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
What's your business? Come pitch us.
I'm a photographer. I'm a commercial photographer, and I work also as a consultant for visual communications for small and middle cap companies.
Okay, so you could write an article of what makes a really great LinkedIn profile picture.
Yes.
Be the obvious shot. Yeah, maybe there are more creative ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the obvious shot.
Well, yeah.
Create an article, show good and bad example, push the shit out of that, and have your contact form pop up.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. That's the creative uses of native ads. Do you guys have any of your cases that you would like to discuss? We are always open to help each other here. It's not only my thing. Yeah, Mike.
Thank you. My question is just concerning.
Sorry.
No problem. Just concerning the articles, because I'm Massimo's partner.
Yeah.
And we don't have on our site the section for news or for articles.
Why not?
Yeah, it's a good start to do this, but we don't have it at the moment.
Use medium.com, for example.
Okay.
Yeah, so medium.com is a nice place to push articles because it has built-in discoverability. No problem, man. So use, first of all, get a blog.
Sure.
Do the blog.yourdomain.com thing, and host WordPress there. If you don't want that, check out Medium because you have built-in discoverability there. Since you're doing like this education thing, you might check out the LinkedIn strategy.
Okay.
Yeah, publish your articles. Always switch between you and you in your personal profiles. There are no articles for pages yet, except you pay a gazillion bucks. And then promote it there. Yeah,
I think
use that as a placement.
Cool idea.
If it doesn't work, create the blog. Yeah, it's really super uncomplicated these days. Medium makes it incredibly easy, even with your own domain.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an idea. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, any other cases? Yeah. So you do the leather goods again. Like what? I'm totally into leather goods. Like I like all kinds of leather.
It's more about the bags, wallets, cards holders, and maybe people like to visit my website, denopa.com.
Oh yeah, please pitch it.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's denopa.com.
I don't know how to spell that.
Yeah, DENOPA. In English.
Denopa.
Yeah, denopa.com. There is one denopa.de that is related to
pitch.
Physicians, not related to my work. But anyway,
tell us, where are they produced? Where do you produce those leather goods?
They are produced in the Middle East.
Okay.
And they are produced by the women's. We not only wanted to sell the products, we also wanted to do some kind of social skills. Then we selected some kind of charities that the women who are responsible for the families, they produce these products, and we import it to the
Write that article 10 times, in other
Okay.
words, and do interviews with them and show those women on the article, like the orange is the new black thing.
Yes, of course, we are going to make a video from them and introduce this story about them.
What was your question?
Yeah, my question was about the prices that you said in the beginning was very awesome for me. I said, okay, 10 cents and so on and so forth. And then at the end you said, okay, at least 20 euro per day we have to spend for that. So is there anything else that make it more longer for me? For me, for example, 5 days on the web for one article for 100 euro is not something that I am looking for. I
What are you
would
looking
like
for?
to be there at least, I don't know, 30 days, because I am sure in 5 days.
How much are you spending at the moment in ads?
For the ads?
How much are you spending overall on social media marketing, advertising, email?
Something around 200 euro.
Okay, per month.
Per month.
Yeah, so this is a lot of money for you. Yeah.
Okay.
But think about it in this way. Imagine you could make another 200 euro into 500. Yeah, with leather goods, I guess you have a good margin. Yeah, even though you give away a lot to the charity. You need to find this leverage point where you spend the 200 and earn the 5 to 1,000.
Okay.
And it's completely realistic. A 20% cost per acquisition in a good e-commerce play is reasonable. Yeah, so spending 20 to earn 100. That's what you should be looking for. And if you find it, you're suddenly free.
What make me hesitated is that I scared that, for example, for 5 euro, I receive the clicks, but they get the rest 15 euro also from me, because there is some kind of limitation per day.
No, there's no limitation per day. You can spend $1,000 per day.
I mean the minimum limitation.
Yeah, yeah, you could, for example, go below 20 bucks if you're really cheap and tell them I only want to spend 5 cents or 10 cents. Yeah, because then you will not get as many impressions as the people who bid higher. So I can actually manage it to go below 20, but I don't think it makes much sense to test any channel below 20 euros per day.
Okay.
It's such a minimum amount. You can test it within a week with $100. If you're in an e-commerce business, I would really encourage you to be a bit more bold.
Okay.
Yeah, in that.
And I have one
short
more question. Like the business that I am working, my target is whole Europe.
Yeah.
My target is not English-speaking people or German-speaking people, many different nations. What do I have to do regarding the article? Because if I write it in English, then maybe England people that are outside of the Europe even now.
So in that case, you need to focus. Yeah, you are spreading 20 euros already very thin. I would say spending 20 euros in Cologne is already enough of a region to spend that money well. Yeah, so don't think about Europe. Yeah, just focus on the countries that you think are best suited for your product, your landing page, your shipping rates. Focus on those first. Make those profitable and then earn the expansion outside of that country. You need to earn it. Yeah, but you need, there are lots of founders that I know who are still in this phase, pre-scalable campaign. And this is like a night and day shift for you guys. Before you are willing to spend money, you are scared to spend the 20 bucks. Yeah, before you have a profitable campaign. And then after you found those profitable campaigns, you can't wait to find the next opportunity to spend the next 20 bucks. Because you make the money way back faster from your PayPal checkout than Outbrain will ever want to see it from you. Yeah, so you have a positive cash flow cycle immediately. But you are only scared because you're not there yet. And I would not start with native ads to find your first profitable paid campaigns. I would do that with Instagram and Facebook. If you can't make it there, it's going to be fucking hard. Yeah, but if you can make it there, on Instagram, on Facebook, in the Facebook newsfeed and in Instagram newsfeed or stories, nowhere else, spend the 20 bucks there or the 10 bucks. There you don't have any restrictions. Yeah, spend the 10 bucks there, make it work, then become more bold and expand in terms of countries. All right? Cool. So, I don't want to keep you too long. So, 8:30-ish. So I would just love to invite you to this not be the last time you joined us. Yeah, the next meetup is already coming up, Christmas edition. Yeah, maybe we have some awesome pirate glühwein here. We had some really nice one from Zanzibar last time. It was so tasty. Do you remember, Christina? We have to get that again. It was really good. I've never drunk so good of a glühwein. Maybe the one at the Stadtgarten in Cologne, the Heidelberg glühwein, is on the same level. Yeah, so December 4th, landing page optimization, where we will talk about, okay, now you have a good traffic source. Where do you send it to? What can you do on the landing page to make it convert into leads, sales, well, qualified leads, A/B testing, yeah, stuff like that will be the focus of the December meetup. If you have any cases you want us to openly show there, feel welcome to get in touch with me afterwards, and we will make you a public case study. Yeah, that would be awesome. And this all is within the framework that you can see on this side and here. We were just talking now about traffic generation. This is where we start scaling with paid ads, really learn our targeting game, but there is so much more to learn before you're actually ready for that. Yeah, and the upcoming topics will help you to get a well-rounded education. And the meetups are always like a view into a very specific, deep subject of one of those. So native ads is just a fragment of traffic generation. But here we have a chance to give you every 6 months a nice look into a new traffic channel. Yeah, but you can also join the workshop series that run every 3 months, that are full day workshops, where you get all of the skills that you need to become your own growth marketer. So you're not dependent anymore on agencies, or where you can educate somebody else within your organization to become a pro marketer. Yeah, and then you're also able to repeat those workshops. They come in every 3 month cycle, and you can start with any topic. They're standalone, but they work together in this beautiful theme here. We have the complete education. So if you're interested in that, just talk to me or Matti, yeah, or Christina after the meetup. Would love to see you there at the workshops. So, and again, why the hell are you not yet in the Facebook group? So feel free to join us there, to share your results, to share your stories. Please ask your questions. We need more questions in the Facebook group. Yeah, and we also need more people to participate in our surveys that help us to share with you guys what is actually working for you and what not. So, and if you have any questions or want to pitch a topic, yeah, or are looking for support, I do free lunches all the time. Just shoot me a message on WhatsApp. Connect me on LinkedIn, please. Yeah, that would be great. Pow. Now we lost the magic. Why did we lose the magic? Oh no, it's the last slide. How can that be? Yeah. Because we exported the PDF. We exported it. We didn't unhide it. Yeah. How do we solve this?
I tried to solve it, but I think you downloaded it.
Okay, what did I miss? I miss asking for feedback, yes. And I missed the winner is. Yeah. The winner is. Okay. So, and we got a winner. But before we announce the winner, everybody please take your feedback sheet out that you have under your table. And all I ask in return for this awesome meetup, I hope you loved it. Maybe you hated it. Let me know. What specifically you could take away, what you liked, what you learned, what we specifically could change to improve it, and how likely you would recommend it on a scale from 1 to 10 to a colleague. Yeah, this really helps us to make this meetup a little bit better every single time. And the whole team is excited to get your feedback. Next Friday, in 2 days, we will analyze all of those meetups, pick 3 things we're going to change next time, and make it a bit more awesome. Yeah. So take the time to fill that out. And we did this survey with the traffic sources. What are your favorite traffic sources? We're going to publish the results in the Facebook group. If you are in there, I actually had it in the slides, but I somehow skipped them. Yeah, because of the PDF export. But let me see who won it. So every month we do this. Yeah, we ask you for what's working for you in analytics, in traffic, in content marketing, and just as a small incentive, you can win one of those workshop tickets. Yeah, it's not the main reason for it. It's for sharing among each other in our community what works for us and what you would love to learn. So do we have Sarah Steyer in the room? I think she is from Kernwerk, from this fitness app. So Sarah, if you see this in the live stream, you want a ticket, I'll get that to you on the Instagrams or the LinkedIns. Congratulations. Okay, then thank you guys for your feedback. Please put it into the magic box here. There's this treasure chest. We really honor your feedback, like our treasure. And let's have some great rum in the background. Thank you all for coming. Bye-bye.